All right, that's been a while. Wow, nice muscles, looking good. Okay, so I'll get right into it. It's been a while. A lot has kind of not really been happening to be honest, except that my work rate has improved. There's still like gaps to go right now, but I would say the last 3 days of showing up, I've been able to do way more work than probably the last month combined, and that's both great and sad at the same time. Considering that I've only worked like maybe 4 hours a day, like for the past 3 days, and just like I'm able to get so much more done. But I'm happy about it for the most part. But also it got me thinking about uh, the idea of the right environment, like I've always been saying, because if the what I think they can do that can drastically increase the odds of people seeing the work is just like surrounded by the right environment, reducing distractions. If you're surrounded by the right environment, the distractions automatically reduce. If you take your time to reduce the right, you reduce distractions, chances are you would also do better. But reducing the distraction does not mean you are in the best environment. It just means that you are now in an okay environment. So, and I've spent a lot of time trying to reduce distractions. Really, I think it's beneficial and very useful. But a lot of my effort now is going towards like, okay, how can I make sure that I'm surrounded by people who want to win, who are actively trying to win in their endeavor, particularly in digital skills realm and domain. So had a conversation with my boy from school, and he still talked about this same stuff that I'm talking about. So he just made me decide to think about it. And one of the things that came to mind was when thinking about crafting an environment, you want to craft an environment that is self-reinforcing. Self-reinforcing. I've been thinking in particular of my days as a final year student, right? Studying dentistry. I had two distinctions, and that's like a huge deal. Studying dentistry, but you know what? It doesn't matter actually. Like it's not it's not relevant at all. But in having those two institutions, I think of things I did, and I just like took things to the max. I sat with the two best students in class, ladies, two best ladies in class, sat with them for like every day, felt like shit while sitting with them because they knew way more than I did. And prior to that, I'd already failed twice in medical school. Uh, like repeated a class twice. So me getting a distinction was nobody saw that coming. But let's say even myself to an extent. But I did that, sat with those people, made sure that every day, yeah, not every day, but made sure that the group discussion with the boys was always holding and always consistent. Showed up with like practicals and all that. Made the point of duty to always attend class first before doing anything. And okay, so made the point of duty to always attend class first. I mean, be the first to be in class, not attend class first. It's crazy that I'm not going to edit this video. I'm just going to send like this. So, point is, I went to the hypothetical marks of like what I would do to like orient my environment, and I'm thinking, why not carry that same approach into building my environment for productivity, not productivity, for execution. Yes. So I'm like, I need to build a system that churns out um, people who take action, not churns out, that brings in people who take action often. So I can do the hard job of like I'm looking every day for this one person who takes action on that. But I can build systems or levers that would bring these people into my life. Because I think of the people the times I've been more productive, I've always been surrounded by like a great team alongside me. So this is something that's very top of mind for me right now. And I'll tell you how I'm thinking of approaching it. You know how like people pay for courses so they can learn a skill and all that, and they are surrounded by they have this like coaching program and all that. So you're surrounded by people who are in the same like-minded too. I've just discovered that a lot of people are just very serious there. Myself included, I've been in the assurance world sometimes. But at the same time, I've discovered that also the higher the amount I've paid for, the higher the tendency to find serious people there, which is like probably 30% of people that pay the more expensive money are usually more serious for it. That's the very low bit. So it's just like how how can I put myself in those rooms all the time? So now it's not even about the knowledge, right? It's just about the people. That's something that I not took for granted, but I just wildly underestimated how important that is. It's just like you always want to be surrounded by winners. I'm pretty sure if I was surrounded by winners, all the time, I would have stepped up massively by now. Okay, so that is an obsession of mine going. It's just like in my spare time. How can I, I can do this whole thing of like trying to put my phone on airplane mode, distraction, grayscale. I can do all the tiny tricks out there. But what's the one thing that if I really do this, it will boost how well I show up? I'm just like, okay, you know what? Just find groups and communities are uh, that are high accountability, high performing people, right about, and find a ways to get into those groups. This is apart from your work hours. This does not separate the work that needs to be, but this is also something that if you do this right, not just even about productivity execution, 5 years down the line and all that, it will generate like high use for you. And of course, I'm always willing to be like, I'm not trying to like rip them off when I enter the groups and all that. I'm trying to deliver as much value as possible, or at least I'm going to deliver as much value as possible to be the best that I can be um, during those environments. And over time, just trust that good things will happen from there. Of course, if I meet anybody who's toxic and who isn't, let's just say, who isn't aligned with the values that I embody, and yeah, who isn't aligned with me, of course, I just don't have to relate to that person. So it's really as simple as that. And I hope to like shed more light about this. But a lot of what I'm doing now is like really arranging my portfolio, and this week I am gonna resume outreach like fully. Yeah, because I already stuck like three of my portfolio already, so I'm thinking of like creating my portfolio funnel, and then we'll begin outreach in earnest. So talk to you guys later.